800-259-9231. Lou Rockwell's coming up in T-minus 60 minutes. FAA documents show drones over U.S. pose huge safety risk. Those have now been leaked out by the Center for Investigative Reporting. Yeah, how they've almost crashed into a bunch of passenger airliners, have crashed, caused highway shutdowns. When I saw this drone out over the highway the other day, everybody was slowing down and pulling off. I was like, what is that? And I guess that's the whole point of the acclamation. We'll also get into the Paul Ryan selection. Again, they could have picked somebody worse than Paul Ryan, but he did vote for the banker bailout, No Child Left Behind, and NDAA. But, yeah, they could have picked somebody worse. Somebody like Mitt Romney could be the VP. Oh, but he'll be the president. I forgot. For semi-auto bans, government-run health care, carbon taxes, abortion. I'm supposed to just be happier than a... See, here's my concern. Obama, if he tried another term, would get impeached over Fast and Furious and a bunch of other issues. And you'd have Tea Party, type conservatives that are better than obviously Obama get in there. But when Romney gets in, everything's going to get blamed on him now, the globalist agenda. It'll all just keep moving forward, and the Republicans will probably lose the House or the Senate or something. And then you'll have, Romney who'll work with the Democrats. We're going to be in deep trouble. Just mark my words. Mitt Romney gets in there. Suddenly, people aren't going to be concerned about attacks on the Second Amendment, open borders. It'll be like, oh, but at least he's not Nancy Pelosi. That's what Democrats do. It's like, oh, Obama's torture and secret arrest and corruption and banker bailouts as well and shutting down 1/3 of our power plants. But, that's all right. At least he's not George W. Bush. These guys are puppet frontmen. What's your take on that? We're going to come back, take a bunch of your phone calls, get into a ton of other news. But, guys, I had it yesterday, and I never got to it myself on air, but Dew covered it last night. Before I forget, and by the way, the crew is just awesome, will you go and ask Dew to give me those stories yesterday about the banks not having reserves and top experts saying get your money out of the banks? Because I read that article. I read a lot of these articles. I never get to them on air. So that's pretty darn important. And again, you can see it, the nightly news report at prisonplanet.tv. We put it out for free the next day for everybody on YouTube, but I don't know how long as they try to ban our channel. I mean, I can only fight them so long. Just be up to you. But again, if they censor my channels, they're going to get all the other channels carrying it. And that was the good news I was covering last hour, even though they're starting to censor us, trying to shut us down. Everybody else is posting it now, and the show is so hot in the free market of YouTube, even with the restrictor plates they're putting in, that we're just totally dominating. I did this morning about 30 minutes with a calculator, just counting yesterday's videos and the channels carrying them, and just adding up 15 or so channels that carry our stuff. It was massive compared to our channel. Which, again, is very exciting. I mean, I say 10 million, I've done the math. It's way more than that. And I can't even count up all these channels. That's got to have the system really worried. And I'm glad they are. Because, listen, you may have to pull the trigger and just ban my voice, huh? We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome, my friends, to another hour of the Alex Jones Show, and that is the voice you're hearing. I'm Alex Jones. We are here Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. That's 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. The websites are prisonplanet.tv, our nightly news channel with all my documentaries and more. We also stream the radio show 3 hours a day there, not just the nightly news at 7 o'clock Central. There's prisonplanet.tv, there's Infowars.com, and the news site prisonplanet.com. We have auxiliary sites like Infowars.net, whatistheendgame.com, and sites like that. Warning, get your money out. All legal bank deposits protections are now officially gone. And this comes by one of the top money managers out there in the world. We're going to be telling you about that at the bottom of the hour. Former money manager Anne Branhart, who in November of 2011 made the decision to cease operations of her brokerage firm and return funds. A bunch of other people did that too. They had a Tyco and others. To her customers, citing systematic problems with the entire financial industry, has issued a new warning about the sustainability and stability of U.S. banks and the safety of individual deposit accounts. You remember 3 or 4 years ago, a whole bunch, well, accelerating last year, a whole bunch of big money managers worldwide said, I'm done, I'm out, including George Soros. Guys, it's over. I know that many of you are still cowering in normalcy bias, unable to deal with the reality, unable to face the world as it is. But you have got to snap out of it. The marketplace is destroyed. You cannot be in these markets. All legal protections are now officially gone. And the article goes over the court rulings. So we're going to be breaking that down and tying it in with, are the U.S. government and big banks quietly preparing for an imminent financial collapse? Now, again, we're already in a controlled collapse. We're already in a recession leading into depression. They've been giving us cooked numbers. Government is gearing up with checkpoints everywhere and 1.4 billion rounds of ammo total. And National Weather Service buying ammo. That's top story at drudgereport.com, our report from Infowars.com. And drones launching everywhere, and military buildups, and face scanning cameras going up to buy and sell everywhere. I mean, this is all happening. Black boxes going in the cars. The globalists engineered a fraud to consolidate control and bring us into it. And that's why we've got 2 key articles at Infowars.com today. And Infowars, we've gotten to where we can handle 1.5 million, 2 million people hitting the site on peak days. But today is particularly big, so the site is a bit slow. We're just getting bombarded with traffic. We may have to turn the comments off because that's... the point is that Infowars is up. If you see it go down, go to Prisonplanet. That's why we got Prisonplanet. It's a backup, not really a mirror because it's got some news that Infowars doesn't have, but a brief history of false flag attacks or why government loves state-sponsored terror. Big article by Kurt Nemo ahead of the season when they could stage terror attacks. I'm just telling you, we're in the prime zone. Rome burned, will we? An Alex Jones, Paul Watson article. Key, National Weather Service follows DHS in huge ammo purchase. Face deals, scans your face to customize deals. That's just some of the reports that are up on the site. Is DHS preparing for civil unrest with massive ammo order? They admit they are. I mean, they've got local police departments nationwide training with the military for it. I mean, this isn't just some plan like Rex 84. They're putting hundreds of billions into this. Government is digging in like World War III is about to start. And it might. They're menacing the Russians, the Chinese. And again, I'm not saying the Russians and Chinese are good. They're big corrupt governments as well. We're run by crazy bankers. We'd already been in giant wars if top generals hadn't refused and admirals over and over again. All right, I said I'd go to your phone calls. It is just wall-to-wall craziness. I'm going to get into all this and a lot more today. Again, Infowars is still up, but Kurt Nemo cannot even post new articles right now. We're locked out of it. So he's going to post a new article he just did to prisonplanet.com. Again, that's why we have that site. It's huge, but not as big as Infowars. Let's go to your calls here. Let's go to Eric in Texas. Eric, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex Jones. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome.
I enjoy your radio show. You have informed me and waked me up about this global elite and all these people that want to take over and just basically wipe us all out. One thing I want to discuss with you about is this. Have you been to the website called thecomingattacks.com?
No.
There's an article on there where before the November 2012 election, Obama is going to stage a false flag assassination attempt against himself to incite racial wars so DHS can basically go with him to a report so he can declare martial law, indefinitely shutting down the November 12, 2000 election. It's all up there on comingattacks.com.
No, I know. I mean, I'm looking at it. Our whistleblower broke that news months ago that his DHS source was saying that. And I do remember that. But listen, here's the deal, and I appreciate your question. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, the thing that you were just talking about earlier about Russia and China, also on that same website, it shows that it talks about Russia and China basically making a super PAC and basically attacking the United States after Obama declares martial law.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your call. One source in DHS saying that does not make World War III and giant false flag attack. You know, I've had Hagman and others on that are breaking that down. The preparations are all happening. There's already massive crises happening. You've got all these White House advisors saying that they want a staged event to be blamed on their political enemies. But we're always looking for them to call it martial law. When the TSA is sticking their hands down you and your wife and your children's pants, that's martial law. When big mega banks can get unlimited trillions from Congress, that's tyranny. When the president tells Congress that the UN and NATO is in command of the president and not Congress in the area of war, that's martial law. That's dictatorship. When the DHS can ship guns into Mexico and get caught and not get in trouble, that's tyranny. I mean, there are so many countless examples of this that just go on and on and on. And then, you know, we have sources that end up being confirmed in mainstream British news that they were telling the security guards, we will have a terror attack. Well, they always tell them that, just to expect it. And we go, okay, you're saying this, but I don't think there'll be an attack. I said I didn't. And it's like, Alex, you said there'd be an attack. And then now we've got all these DHS people saying they're told something big in late October, early November. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. But yeah, they're telling police departments this. It's come out in the news. They're saying, look for something big in late October, early November. We've had police call in and break down crying. Wild tanks are rolling around major cities like St. Louis, and they're being told this in the briefings. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just like the White House got caught under Bush putting out fake terror alerts, they admitted later for political gain. It doesn't, just saying there's going to be the attack is a form of staged terror. So it doesn't mean this is going to happen, because I guarantee you, if we expose this and back it off, and then there isn't a terror attack because you expose it, I expose it, others expose it, then it'll be, oh, you said there'd be a terror attack in late October, early November. No, I said they're gearing up for civil unrest nationwide and telling the banks get ready for collapse, and that's all in the news. And they've got regular Army and Marines rolling around all over the country, running real checkpoints, and they're rolling TSA out on the highways, and they're doing all of this, and they're telling you the NSA is spying on you without warrants. That's illegal. But they say they're doing it under an emergency. They use any crisis they can, real or manufactured, to take our rights. So that's the answer to your question. I had the folks on from the Northeast Intelligence Group. They're interesting. He's a private detective, has a pretty good record. He has a DHS source, told him that. And then a whole system got built up around that, around his source saying he'd been told that. Look, I've got the Army manuals. Everybody always focuses, for whatever reason, on one source. Instead of DHS manuals, preparing for civil unrest, gun confiscation, cordoning of cities, arrest of political dissidents, re-education camps. The Army is publicly, this stuff is public. We write articles with links to army.mil with re-education camps, gun confiscation, and no one wants to talk about it or cover it. But somebody says, hey, I have a DHS source that said Obama's planting a false flag around the election, and it's Katie bar the door. That's all I ever hear about. When the real meat and potatoes, 100%, are on your plate. No debating it. This is already a tyranny. It's criminal to train the military to arrest citizens and put us in re-education camps. It's illegal to train the military for gun confiscation nationwide. This latest Army scenario where they're going to fight the Tea Party insurrection that's going to link up, they predict. This is a war game prospectus. I'll find my knob here for my audio. They changed everything around here. You know, that's what we're talking about here. And it's just so frustrating. I mean, I'm glad the caller called in about that. It's just that we have